Sweet! Aloha mai kākou, and welcome to another episode of Aloha Authentic with Kamakapili, Hawaii's only TV show that features our own local artists and cultural practitioners and shares their story with you so you can get a little bit deeper understanding of what they do, but also the different traditional practices of Hawaii and Hawaiian culture. Today I'm really excited to talk about and to share with you the story of Kumu Chinky Māhoe of Kawailiʻulā. Kumu, mahalo nui for coming on my show. I appreciate it.
Oh no, mahalo for inviting me. I'm excited to be here.
Thank you. But before we get to him and his story, of course, I gotta just let you guys know what's gonna be happening on this show and the pupus and the food that we're gonna be eating. We do have a bowl of poi and we do have some poke on the table, so kalamai if we eat a little bit, indulge as we talk story. We invite you to grab your poi and your poke and indulge with us. But the meaning of the open bowl of poi on the table is that growing up, Tutu always used to say when the bowl of poi is open on the dinner table, that no negative conversation is to be spoken, only words of positivity and creation and good mana. So that way all that words that are spoken doesn't go into the poi and sour it. So when you eat them, the thing doesn't taste good, it's all junk. So we want to make sure our food is super ono for us to eat. So that's why we're going to be poohpoohing. So again, we invite you, please go and get your bowl and eat along with us. Again, we have a new segment on our show, so we just want to touch upon it. This is called Did You Know? That is proudly sponsored by the Native Hawaiian Hospitality Association. And today's Did You Know is about the mango. And I'm sure everybody either has a mango tree in their yard or has a neighbor who has one. So it might be really interesting for you to know. Did you know that the mango, or in Hawaiian we call manako, doesn't only taste ono, but it also can help you medicinally or medically. If you use the baby leaves, if you deal with any kinds of gum problems or pain or hard time chewing or etc., chew on the baby leaves till it's all mashed up. Then you can pack that mashed up leaf onto the area that is painful in your mouth, on your gums or so forth, and you keep it there for a bit. And this will help to relieve the pain and make you feel just a little bit better. So instead of going to the store and buying some medications, go check out the medications that Akua blessed us with in the backyard, and you can help yourself for free. And the interesting thing, I tried this, it actually tastes like a mango. If you chew the leaf, it tastes like the mango fruit. So if you know more fruit, at least you have an alternative of achieving that ono taste. So that pushed aside, we have so much information and story and talking to go to, so let's just go straight to it. Kumu.
I think I'm going to go eat my mango leaves now.
I forgot that one at home. I should have brought some mangoes today. But Kawailiʻulā,
yes,
the world knows you as being such a different style of hula dancing with your halau and your hula. Share a little bit about the background of Kawailiʻulā.
Kawailiʻulā. First of all, the name means a water mirage or shimmery water. And when you look, the easiest way to explain is when you look on the hot road, you see the heat waves, which is, it looks like water, yeah. So that's basically what Kawailiʻulā means, water mirage. But it also is my grandfather's name, my father's name, and my name. So when I decided to start my halau, actually I wanted my halau name to be images of our ancestors. Thinking that I could use Kaliʻulā in it, but I couldn't. So we just used our middle name, Kawailiʻulā. But because I came from Darrell Lupenui and the Men of Waimāpuna, I wanted to use the vai to continue that vai name.
Nice.
Yeah. So being that my name had vai in it, so it kind of
and it has
matched.
a ring to it too.
Yeah. So it was, well, it's still hard for everybody to say because I hear it in so many different ways that, you know, people pronounce with more I's than it needs, or, you know, ula or whatever it is. But yeah. It's basically my name.
How long have you had Kawailiʻulā?
Since '79, so it's maybe like almost 37 years now.
Wow. And where did you start? I mean, I know where you're at today.
Well, first of all, I was a canoe paddler. And I thought all my life I'm going to paddle. I would never quit paddling because it's part of our family, and our family owns Kaioni Canoe Club. And so I figured, well, okay, well, I'm going to be a paddler all my life. And then for some reason, I got into hula and with Uncle George na Oping, which I was paddling and dancing with Uncle George and learning how to play guitar at that time. And my hair was long. I mean, all my hair was long. Not only the back is long.
I missed it.
Yeah, and it wasn't as long as your hair before. But then I started off with Uncle George and learning with him for a few months, and then I saw the Men of Waimāpuna. And because they looked so masculine and strong and athletic, I wanted to join that group. And it wasn't until 1977 when, because I started in December of '76. So when there was the Kamehameha competition, hula competition, at Kapiolani Park. And Waimāpuna performed, and I thought it was just so amazing. And I saw one of my friends that danced with them. So then I got introduced to Darrell, Thaddeus, and John Kaimikawa at that time. And amazingly, I wrote my name on a chopstick paper, and they called me the following week, and the rest is history.
So from there, how do you try to perpetuate what you've learned or yours, the traditions that you're able to be blessed with through Waimāpuna, through your own halau?
Well, first of all, I didn't get into hula to teach hula. I got into hula because I wanted to just learn how to dance and to be called up in the nightclubs when we're drinking and listening to like Auntie Genoa and just listening to Hawaiian music. But one day, one of my guys that I was coaching asked, "Oh, can you help me?" Because he was with Kailua High School Magicals. So he goes, "Can you help us learn a couple numbers?" So I had asked Darrell, and Darrell goes, "Well, go teach them, but don't teach them anything I taught you. You're gonna have to go make it up." So that's kind of how it started, and then through that and working with the Kailua High School Magicals, traveling around the world, and we traveled around the world, is when I decided this is what I want to do, because I wanted to take the local kids and go travel, and use hula as, first of all, entertainment and travel. Because, back in those days, a lot of the people never even traveled. They never even went to different islands, to our own islands. So that was my opportunity to get in there and learn how to do this business of entertainment and taking the halau.
With Darrell's style, Kumu Darrell's style is so rigorous. How was your dancing ability when you first started?
Well, at that time I was young. I was young, healthy, and energetic, and I had bricks, Now I want to get one. But then, no, at that time, Darrell's style was very strenuous, but it was challenging to the body. And it was challenging, just like how paddling was challenging, and grueling. But I think that's what made everything more exciting for us guys in the halau, and it challenged us, and it taught us as guys to come up to that level of where Darrell wanted us to be, because when you're doing it again and again and again, and you're kind of not knowing why you're doing it again. All he knows is that he wants to see a certain way that you're dancing, and so it's through all of us looking at each other and helping each other to blend together. We had to learn that on our own, how to blend by doing it over and over. When he says, "Oh, your arms are not up," well, now we have to look at whose arms are not up or whose motion is not correct. Because Darrell had never pinpointed anyone.
It's a group effort.
It was a group effort. But the training and the practices were so long. Yeah. It was like, we would start at 6 o'clock and by 11, maybe sometimes 12 o'clock, we're
At
coming
night.
home at night.
Jeez.
Yes.
So what, at that time in history, what was Waimāpuna? How did Waimāpuna change hula?
I think my Waimāpuna or Darrell and John Kaimikawa changed it because the hula was more strong, especially for the men. The men came out more strong because before at that time, the men used to dance with the women, you know, and the motions were the same. So I think Waimāpuna had brought out a different look for kane hula, which was very attractive and appealing to, or more exciting, I think, to the people, which caught my eye, you know, and I said, oh, I think I'd like to do that. Because, you know, I used to play basketball and not so much football, but basketball, volleyball, and paddling. And so I was very athletic at that time. And hula was very, very, very strenuous, which I enjoyed. And me, I like to be challenged, yeah. And so I always want our practices to be grueling and hard. Yeah.
I laugh because I know. But so you have men in your halau, but you also have women. Where does your women's style come from?
When well, first of all, I started off with the boys from Kailua High School, and then the girls wanted to also learn. So I took the style of Antebella Richards. My sister, Kehau, used to dance with Antebella. And so because their Antebella style is so mesmerizing, it's so graceful and so low aiha'a, and when you watch their girls dance, it's just like so amazing on how they can get so low and yet so graceful at the same time. So, and then a couple of my girls used to dance with Antebella at that time too. So it was easy to get that style because all I had to do was continue it and learn through it. But, you know, I kind of learned it as I had to wait for my sister and pick her up from hula. And, you know, when they say, okay, go pick her up at 6 o'clock, or you already know hula is not going to finish at 6. Yeah. So through that extra time that we're there, unconsciously, I think I was learning it. Not even thinking that I was going to be teaching hula years later.
And she was from Kailua, her
And
halau.
she was from Kailua, yes.
So for you to be able to perpetuate at least that style within Kailua today, that's...
And Antebella Richards too was, and the Kamalama Lama family, they were all part of the Kailua High School Magicals back in the 60s, 70s. You
So
know.
was that a dance group or a club?
A magical group is a choral, is a singing group. And Mr. Hotoke, who was the leader at that time, used to take the school, like about 20, 25 of them, around the world for a little over 25 years.
Jeez.
So everyone wanted to be a part of it. And through that, I think, of course, had IAA Swinging Singers, which Darrell and Thaddeus and O'Brien, they all belonged to that. So it was through that is when Waimāpuna was created, through the IAA Swinging Singers.
So I know, so you mentioned, you know, the creativity and this new style that came from Darrell, but you also did mention that you studied first from Uncle George Naope. For you personally, what is the difference in the experiences from Uncle George being more of a traditionalist and learning, and, you know, teaching what he has learned from Auntie Io and such like that, and Darrell coming up with his new styles? What was
Well, you know, the
difference for
two
you
styles, if you dance the two styles, they're both just as difficult. Yeah, it's difficult to dance slow and aiha'a, and it's just as difficult to dance fast and aiha'a. Yeah, but I think I rather do the fast because it's more entertaining. You know, I got into hula because I wanted to entertain, and then through learning with Uncle George, you know, Uncle George was like he hardly explained things because that wasn't the old way. Yeah, the old way was you watch and you learn, even with ho'opa'a. And I'm over there with my ipu heke and, asking uncle, well, how do I know what to? He goes, just watch the feet. Just watch the feet. And I'm watching the feet and I say, I don't see the beat in the feet, So, but then later on, as you're doing this, and then now you're listening to the beat and you're watching the foot movement, then it kind of connects, Every time the foot moves a certain way, there's a certain beat. So that's how I had to, you kind of learn on your own, because he didn't say, okay, the kaholo beat is the kuku beat, and things like that. You just had to figure it out on your own, which took a long time.
What is the importance of each? The importance of creating and importance of keeping tradition. I know in hula there's a lot of people with their own critiques or mana'o on, I'm sure you probably got critiqued about always having this new style and being so fast and new, I think it's safe to say.
Yeah, I think that's an interesting question. And only because I kind of lived through that time. And at the time that I started teaching, all of my mentors, like with Auntie Luka Kaleki, with Iliema Hula Studio, Auntie Lei, Lani Mendez with Hau'oli Hula Studio, even with Darrell, all of them at different times say, you want to be a kumu, you teach your own. Don't you go copying everybody on what they do, And then there's other kumus who retain what they've learned from their kumu and pass it on. Well, for myself, I couldn't pass it on. Darrell said, do not teach anything that I taught you. So that only left me with, with my own creativity. So I couldn't teach what Waimāpuna learned. There are only a few chances that I had asked Darrell if I could teach the halal, which he gave me, and he gave me his blessing, which is what we do today. So those are the only chances. I think there's 3 of them that I teach my kane.
Where do you get your inspiration to be so creative and to come up with these, it's like every time you come out, there's always something new that you wouldn't have expected, or you've seen somebody else do. Where do you get inspired?
Well, I think first is a panic. It's a panic, like, oh no, what am I going to do next time? Because, people, they expect a lot, and I really appreciate that, because, it pushes me as a kumu to have a certain vision. But I think because I open myself up to, because I already know that this is my belief that I've been chosen to do what I do, or else I wouldn't be doing this. And I believe that there is something that is guiding, because I know I come from a line of Kumu Hula, throughout my ancestors. And if they're guiding me, well, amen, But I always ask Keakua, I always ask God to help me and to open my heart to be able to accept whatever visions or whatever comes to me, Like for me, I don't speak the language, but when I look at a mele, it just seems like all of these imagery and pictures come out that whether I understand it or not, it happens. And then when I learn about it, it's just like, wow, when I finally learn the mele, then it's just so amazing. And then to watch the choreography unfold with your dancers as you're teaching them, and then to see the end product is like, well, I don't believe that I did that,
How do you know that it's, that you achieved what you were looking for, that it's ready?
I feel it. I feel it, and if I don't feel a certain way when I watch the hula, then I have to change certain things. And once I change it and I watch it, then I'm able to, I don't know, it's just something that you cannot explain.
So you've been going to Merrie Monarch for a number of years.
since 1982.
And I know that there was a streak that you came out on top, you know, in the competitive sense.
We had great judges.
What is, you know, stepping outside of the looking at Merrie Monarch as a competition and winning a competition, looking at it as a platform where you can showcase your knowledge and your traditions and your kumu, what kuleana do you come out of Merrie Monarch with being victorious?
I think the winning is only the beginning of your kuleana. You know, of course we train and we train to be a certain way, but the training that, and as you know, the training is not only to win, the training is, of course we want to win, but the training is for me to get you as a dancer to your potential and to be better than who you think you can be, yeah. And once I achieve that with you, then I already know our presentation is going to be good. Yeah, the winning, that's up to the judges. You know, I'm not going to say that we're better than any other halau, but then for me that we've reached our goal of teaching you as a dancer, as a olapa, to be who you need to be.
So you guys come back from Hilo, you guys get back home. What is the first thing that you know, what is your next step after coming out of Merrie Monarch? Do you just go straight back into it?
Well, as you know, we come back and we kuka, and we, it's like, okay, now what do you do now? Where is everybody going to go? Because not everybody stays in halau. They go, they come, you know, they stay. We have many shows because that's where the kuleana is. Now, do we do these shows and be kapulu because now we're not being judged? No, because when people see you at competition, and especially when you win, they want to see that quality because they're all excited for you. So that's why we even train more, you know, with all the other songs that we do to keep the caliber up, yeah. So that when we go out and we perform, everybody goes, wow, that's the halau I saw, yeah. So the kuleana starts when we come back. As far as the dancer is concerned, you know, that is not only going to Merrie Monarch and then come home and then you guys do other things, yeah, or the dancers do other things, yeah, which you can, but then this is your kuleana, not to me, not to the halau, but to the people, you know, the people of Hawaii, the people of the world, the people that want to see you, yeah, and that's my philosophy. As far as competition goes, yeah.
So you mentioned, and what I kind of interpreted was that you use hula as not really, well, aside from the practice of this traditional art form, but a vehicle to really teach yourself to be a better person.
Well, you know, Merrie Monarch is a great venue, I would say, to teach a dancer or a person who they are as a person, you know, spiritually, mentally, physically, because it takes, especially that physical, I mean, that spiritual being, yeah, that you're not dancing for you, you're dancing for someone else. You're dancing for who brought you here, the people that paved your road for you to be who you are, yeah, as a person. Whether, and you know, I want my dancers, like how I do, I dedicate everything that I do to where I come from, you know, all the way to the first generation to Akua. But I teach my dancers that you're not practicing and you're not bussing for yourself, yeah, that there's somebody else that you're doing this for, or many other else people that you're doing this for, because then it becomes greater than you, and it's not about you, it's about who you're doing this for. Most importantly, who you're doing it with. You know, like when we don't only because it's a show, we only because we're calling We're calling our kupuna to be with us. We're calling everybody that stepped on that stage before that, all the way back, to come and witness what we have and be a part of what we have and give us the energy that you have so that we can do what we do.
Mm-hmm. So through your work, and with only a couple minutes left, what is Aloha to you, and how do you show that through hula?
Well, you need a heart. You know, Aloha is love. And it's through this, you know, I'm a feeler. I can feel people, I can feel their hearts. And I'm sure they can feel mine, yes, tough as I may be. But yet, there's something inside of all of us that wants to come out to love other people. Mm-hmm. Hula can give aloha in healing, because hula heals people when they see your performance. You know, it gives people joy when they see, you know. And to me, all of that is part of that aloha that you have for what you do, who you are as a person, yeah, to be able to give that aloha when you dance.
Well, I keep trying to look at the clock because I know we're so strict on time. I do want to mention and congratulate you for your new album that has released. So you're not just a Kumu Hula, you're also a musician. So that's just...
Yeah, that was learned.
Yeah. And I invite, check out alohaauthentic.org. Kumu Chinky's album and information to find his album will be on there, where you'll be able to listen and, you know, to the beautiful music that he has created. This is your second album, correct?
Yes.
Second album.
It's been 15 years since
You finally was ready.
Well, I'm not a recording artist, you know. I just do what I do for the halau. But with this particular CD is all chants and songs that we wrote throughout the years, you know. Not necessarily that we competed with, but it's just telling stories of my life and where I come from with Kalapawai.
Oh, so awesome. Well, just want to thank you guys for watching and listening to the stories of Kumu Chinky and just hula, you know, and the aloha, or that resembles and revolves around hula. Again, if you missed any episodes of Aloha Authentic, go to alohaauthentic.org and you can freely check out all the past episodes and all the special guests. We do have an Aloha Authentic Scholarship Fund that I just want to put it out there. So check out the website to find out more, and maybe if you want to help and contribute, that may be another way. But until next time, also like our Aloha Authentic Facebook page. And on that note, we will see you next month. Aloha uhiho.